Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, pretty boring at the moment, not much going on. So obviously we're still tracking here the movements to the upside. Okay, so just for context, it's important to, I think, realize there is a scenario on this chart which allows that a low was already in. This entire move that started early in March, middle of March, is considered a wave 4 correction. And this wave 4 correction could have finished here on the 19th of April. I'm just saying that for new viewers. So that's one scenario, that's bullish. And there's one scenario in which we can still get one more low, deeper, lower into this main support region. And that's also highly likely still because the movements from the low, from the 19th of April, they have been corrective. That means from an Elliott Wave point of view, they were overlapping. They were not clearly directly bullish. The main reason why I say the low could be, and it was already here on Friday, I highlighted that, is because we have a nice bottoming structure. That's one thing. But also because we have a potential 5-wave advance. 5 waves, but only in a diagonal pattern. So we can't really fully trust these. And there is a scenario like a complex WXY pattern in which we could easily see one more low. And both counts are bullish, however, because in both counts, upside trend continuation is expected. Either more directly from this region, or even if we break through micro support, then from this region. So that means pullbacks could be opportunities. Either way, okay? And I will only have to change my perspective on this chart, below 50,700, that is below the main support region on the chart, below this 50% retracement. So these are the important markers. At the moment, we are obviously investigating if the low is really in. I'm treating it as such until we break support. Doesn't mean it is the case necessarily. Okay, we have to consider both scenarios. Both are bullish. I think, therefore, the answer is very clear. It doesn't really matter. So it's more like, do you have a plan for both? Okay, do you have a plan for both? If this affects you at all, if it affects you, a lot of people won't be affected because they don't care about the micro patterns. But just be aware we have risk here. We have risk that the price could drop maybe to 57K, 56K in the white count. Or we have risk here in the very short term that the price could dip into this micro support area, which is relevant for the scenario in which we could have already bottomed. Yeah, I will, by the way, take the micro count out here. Just a bit annoying. Okay, because we don't need it, It's just in a way. So looking at the shorter time frame then, the idea and the communication over the last few days has been that, okay, we have the yellow scenario here, which might have topped on the 22nd of April. Wave 1, which is a 5-wave move only as a diagonal. Now we are watching if wave 2 is unfolding. The support area hasn't changed since yesterday because we haven't made a new high. The price has not managed to form a new high. I could just maybe slightly adjust it. And support is between 61.2K and 64.3K pretty much. That means if we now get a pullback and we break below those trend lines here, which are visible on the chart, we break below those trend lines. They're not so relevant, but there's a trend channel in which the price has been moving. Yeah. So if we break below these and then we have a possible triangle here as well. So if we see a break below those trend lines, it could indicate that this wave 2 pullback has indeed started. There's a wave count that would support this, because we can say if the wave 1 indeed topped there, then this could be an A wave, A, B, C, D, E. Could be a B wave triangle, might get another lower high, and then we could come down in wave C. So this is one scenario that's worth observing. And another scenario allows for direct continuation to the upside, which is in the blue count, in which we already completed a 1-2 setup here with a wave 2 on the 19th of April. Just a different way of counting this, but the move up is not impulsive, so it would also be a diagonal. Diagonals always leave a lot of room for interpretation, and I wish I could tell you which one it is. I'm still leaning towards yellow as long as we don't break above that 78.6 extension, which is pretty much in line with previous updates. Yeah, very much consistent with previous updates. I highlighted to you that that level needs to break for me to clearly favor the blue count, but they are both bullish. So in the blue count, we probably completed an A wave on Monday. B wave pullback, but that might also unfold as a triangle. and then a C-wave rally from here is possible. And to give us some evidence for that, we first need a break above the 67.3K, and then a follow through above the 78.6 extension at 67.8K, and then it can take us to 71.5K in the blue count. But if we see a break to the downside, especially a break below what I've labeled as yellow wave A, 65,880, it would suggest that the C wave to the downside is taking us into the orange support region. All that's showing us is reward and risk. What's the reward to the upside? Around about 71.5K, right? What's the risk to the downside? Well, technically 61.2K. So it's very balanced at the moment. I don't think there's a trade here because of that. But if we dip into the orange support region, yeah, there might be the opportunity for some of you who are looking for short-term entries to maybe look for an entry here. Okay, depending on how the decline is structured though. But this would be a support area to watch. And if we then can see the price stabilize in this support area and then take off, yeah, that would be first confirmation or additional confirmation for the yellow count. That's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.